Wonderful. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for joining us to talk with us about our early talent program. So hello to all of our interns across the world. I'm Adonica Black, Aptiv Senior Director for Talent Inclusion and Employee Brand, and I get the real honor to lead our Global Early Careers program. And it is a privilege to join you all here today to welcome our Leadership Insights conversation. And I'm excited to introduce you all to Obed Louissaint, Executive Vice President and Chief People Officer here at Aptiv. Today's remarks are the beginning of your journey here with us at Aptiv, and I'm really excited that we will be sharing insights about our vision of how early talent transforms our organization, the opportunities you have to grow here at Aptiv, and how you'll continue to shape the future. So let's talk about what we will cover today. I've introduced and welcomed our guest speaker, our leader, Obed Louissaint, our Chief People Officer here at Aptiv. And in our conversation today, we'll hear from Obed about his journey at Aptiv and beyond, when he started his journey as an intern, all the way to now being a leader of a multinational organization. We'll also hear about the vision and the purpose behind why we invest in our early talent. And you'll hear about the irresistible experiences that we're creating for you as a member of our Aptiv team. So let's get started. And we're going to start with a wonderful introduction of your early talent experience.
Aptiv Summer Internship Program gives you the opportunity to impact every journey by helping to develop the hardware and software of tomorrow's vehicles.
Work with our experts to create a safer, greener, and more connected future of mobility.
Get hands-on experience working with vehicle electrification, autonomous driving, machine learning, vehicle cybersecurity, and so much more.
Interns learn from industry experts and dedicated mentors to make a difference together.
We may have a global footprint, but we are one Aptiv.
With a fun and collaborative approach that is a catalyst for thinking big.
Inspiring best-in-class technologies and ideas.
And building the right things the right way.
Our employee resource groups promote a sense of belonging, support, and inclusion for everyone.
And reflect the diversity that drives Aptiv's innovation.
We care for our people.
We operate with respect.
And we embrace the desire to win and push boundaries.
Join Aptiv's Summer Internship Program to impact every journey from day one.
Aptiv Summer.
Wonderful. Well, welcome, Obed. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll invite you to talk to our Global Intern Class here. Thank you so much.
Terrific. It is my good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It is my pleasure to engage with you this morning. So this is an exciting time for you and for Aptiv. I wanted to, before we get started, just to give you a little bit of context or additional insight as some exciting news that we announced just last week. So if you've been following us and your company, one of the things that you would have noticed is that we made some significant announcements over the last week where we talked about our business and the future of our business and announcing an exciting spend. So I wanted to take the moment before jumping into our journey, my story, as well as taking some questions to just share a little bit of that context. So Aptiv, as you know, had two major segments: our SPS segment, the Signal and Power Solutions, as well as the ASUX, or software and ASUX, so Advanced Safety and User Experience. To that, what we announced last Wednesday is and that started from a journey that started in last November, was the emergence of our ECG, or Engineered Components Group, and how that group came together with our CS business, our connection systems, with such things as Intercable, Element, Titan, as well as Winchester, to form that Engineered Components Group. As buying patterns started to continue to evolve and transform, the way in which those businesses and capital allocation, what they needed to grow and to thrive, started to diverge and look different. As a result, We announced on Wednesday the intention to split those businesses into spin off and create a separate company. And that EDS business, or as you think about it, the wire harness business, of which is roughly 150,000 people around the world, $9 billion in revenue. So a substantial business will become its own independent company. And what that leaves in Remain Co. or Aptiv is that engineered components business, as well as the advanced safety and user experience. So we see greater synergies in those, greater performance by way of buying patterns, by way of customers, as well as the way in which we'd invest in capital in those businesses would look similar than the electronic distribution systems business. So some of you may have seen it, may not have seen it, but I didn't want to start to go into our journey without talking about a little bit of an update of our business, because we've been in the news significantly lately. The other thing if you want to hear more about that specific topic, I'd invite you to go to our website, go to our investor page, and then check out the press release, as well as the investor call that was Wednesday at 8 a.m. It'll give you a lot more context to better understand your company. So one of the things that, as you're joining us over the course of the summer, or as you're already here, what you'll know is that spin won't take effect until the end of the first quarter of 2026. So we expect by March 26 of 2020, March of 2026, that's when that spin would actually occur. So wanted to give you that context. Now, I'll start. You saw some of the fantastic stories and examples in a video just now, and talking about our talent. We have our early professional talent and interns range from 450 individuals all over the world, where together bring safe, green, and connected to life. And over the next couple of minutes here, we'll show you how the work that you're doing is pivotal to our journey. And then I'll also share a little bit of I'll cover three things. One is some of my key experiences that I found from an internship to some pivotal jobs over the course that internship provided. And then lastly, I'll share with you some career principles. So as I think about or thought about how interning to officer has developed my career, what are some of the key principles, or three key principles, six key words, has helped to shape my own career. And then we'll open up for some questions. So let's take a look at the next chart. And then, just as we think about the vision, our vision for Aptiv is around being a global technology company that's at the forefront of reinventing the way in which not only mobility is done, but driving a software-driven world to propel to the next generation of connected industries. And then, as you know, we're on a journey of expanding our work across multiple industries. And then and not only have we been ushering in new technologies in the area of mobility or in the automotive industry, but we continue to scale in areas of telecom, aerospace and defense, industrial tech, and so forth. And then so the way in which our early professional programs are designed is that you specifically, you and the work that you do every day, help foster and make us smarter, so that your ideas, your skills help to create a cutting edge environment and redefine how we think about and how we execute on our safe, green, and connected. And we continue to push, with your help, continue to push the limits of what is possible and transform how the world moves forward. Now, let me share with you a little bit of one person's journey, right? One person's journey over the course of the last 2 decades, and it's hard to believe that it's been that long since I sat in your shoes and been where you are today. But I'd like to think about as I reflect back on where I started my career journey. I started as an intern in a different company. So I joined Aptiv just about 2 years ago. but I joined as an intern at the IBM company. And one of the things that the internship provided me was really understanding the things that I like to do, some of the things that I was more challenged in doing, and then some of the things where I found that that they were new and interesting things. So throughout the course of the journey, I tried to take on assignments that were new in nature and challenging. And and then that's what my internship experience showed me is that look, push global, push new boundaries. So where things are new and where there's opportunity for the company to create value. So I'd invite you as you think about your internship and your internship experiences is to think about, okay, where is Aptiv going or where is any of the company is going? How do they make money? And what is it that they produce? And try and get those jobs and experiences that's closer to what the company builds, how it sells, and how it continues to transform. And then if I think about a couple of experiences that was quite pivotal over the course of my journey, I remember being very early in career in taking and being in the leadership development program. So as I completed my first experience in that was completing my first experience in that leadership development program, it was time to rotate to another job. And what I found was the project that I was working on was I found it so compelling and I was having so much fun and learning so much that I asked not to rotate. My mentor or my counselor at that particular time told me that that wasn't a great idea. But I was insistent. I was insistent because of the fact that at the end of the day, it was myself that was working, anywhere between 50 and 60 hours a week at that point in time. So I enjoyed the work that I was doing. I enjoyed the way I was being pushed and stretched. And then as I thought about the next rotation in the program, I was less interested in those particular things. So it turned out as a result of that, I stayed on to the project a little bit longer, that project or that experience a little bit longer. And then that project led to an interesting experience because the company was taking a pivot. And as a result, I got to work on identifying growth countries for for the company. So I got to work on and that was only because of the experience that I had gained from the job that I was in. And then so as a result of having that next project of working on the strategic growth countries, so I went to places like Brazil and India and China and Hungary and South Africa to scope out. And then what the project ended up being was scoped out 13 strategic growth countries, which were then going to be the bedrock of growth of the company for the next actually 20 years. So they're still growing in those particular countries. Later on, that specific work assignment got me my first executive role because I did the work of identifying those particular countries. And then later on in career, after I had some more generalist experience, I became the HR leader of those 13 countries. So I tell that story just to say, look, not to say to rebel or be a dropout out of leadership development programs, but know what it is that you want. Lean into the things that make sense for you. At the end of the day, you're the navigator, you're the driver, you're the actor of your own career journey. And it is important that you make it your own because when you make it your own, that ends up being that's how you will define success, and then that's how you feel satisfied and gratified with your own career and your own experience. So, as I think about some of the pivotal jobs, so I said I would share some pivotal jobs. That was certainly one of them. One of them was identifying those 13 strategic growth countries. Another key experience was I got an opportunity to shadow the individual who was in my job, the job that I am in today as the chief people officer for Aptiv, and that gave me very broad exposure to the different opportunities as well as the different functions of an organization. And that's when it became clear to me that this is the job at some point in my career that I wanted. So another key experience is one broad like apprenticeships, observation jobs, ones that are where you're fairly close to leadership in an expansive and working in projects. And then the last one, the last key experience that I'll share with you is when I became HRVP for what was the Watson Group. And that was pretty cool because it was a brand new business unit that was being created. And that business unit launched, and I was one of the first 5 employees of that particular business group. And then so it was building a new business within an established company. So it was fast paced, it was moving, it was establishing new processes and new things that hadn't been experienced before. So if I had to sum up some of the things that I learned over the course of those particular experiences that then define what I would call today as career principles. And then I wish I had the foresight when I was sitting in your shoes to say, hey, these are 3 principles that will govern my career choices over time. Um, but I didn't, but I at least in principle can look at that today, and I share those with you and invite you to create your own principles. The first one is define success. Because if you don't define success for yourself, you may find yourself living out a career or a life of living out someone else's definition of success, whether that be a parent, whether that be a friend, whether that be a spouse, whether that be a mentor. But it's really important that you define success for yourself. The second one is do good, right? Everything that you work on, whether it is a paper, whether it is, your test, your schoolwork, your internship, the first job, is do your best at it because your work is your signature, is your personal brand. So when you do good, when you do well, right, that is going to propel and put confidence and faith by others in you in order to do more. And then the last one is be good. One of the things, a set of principles wouldn't be complete without something that a formidable parent or individual has impressed upon you. And my mama told me is to be good because then you encourage good people around you. And when you have great people around you, it propels you to be better. So 3 short principles, 6 key words: define success, do good, be good. Now, I know there's a couple of questions open, so let me pause here as we transition and open up the QR card for the survey as well as for questions.
Thank you so much, Obed. That was so insightful. So I'm going to invite a couple of our interns to ask questions, starting with Adriana Jameson, who's based in the Americas.
Hi, Obed. I'm
Adriana.
Adriana. I'm currently an employer branding intern at our Troy, Michigan location. And my question is, what advice would you give to someone aspiring to move into a leadership role within a global organization?
So great question, Adriana. So I would say if you have aspirations for leadership outside of the 3 principles that I just shared, I'd say identify always as you do your work, always leave some capacity for interesting projects because there is, in order to accelerate your career, there is the experience that you're going to get by way of the job that you have. But one of the other pivotal ways of accelerating your development is projects and exposure. So a lot of people say, hey, go and network and go meet this person and that. I've had many, in every day of the week, I probably have a lunch or dinner with a different individual. Who I will remember are those individuals that I did productive work with because I saw the way in which they think. I saw the way in which they acted. And then as a result, then when a key job or key opportunity came up, I can with confidence say, hey, Adriana would be the perfect person for that particular project because we had done work together. So leave a little bit of capacity from your day job so that you can then work on those projects that are most interesting and with other people, because when you do that productive work with them, they'll vouch for you. They'll expose you to those other types of projects, and that's how you accelerate your own experience. Great question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. And we have a question also from Sheila Brophy, based in EMEA.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Obed. My name is Sheila. I'm a HR intern here in Dublin. So my question is, why is investing in early talent important for Aptiv?
It's so key because it's about our future. So as where I started is giving you a bit of a business update and then saying, hey, look, we've over the next couple of years here, we're going to expand into two great companies. So today, we're single Aptiv, one Aptiv, and then we will continue to scale. We will continue to scale into a great two great companies, and that's going to need talent. And then that needs early professional talent. That means experienced talent. That means so talent is what fuels an organization's success. So that's why it's so critical to us because you every day helps to push us further, to help us to innovate, help us to grow, and then diversify our thinking.
Thank you so much, Obed. Our interns on the line have completed a Mentimeter survey asking for insights of what would they like to experience as an intention or ambition with their early talent experience with Aptiv. So I think you've inspired a lot of the growth that we're seeing here in innovation and mindset.
I love it. I love the fact that growth and growth, experience, teamwork, opportunity come together. And in one of the ways in which we push ourselves, how we grow is continuing to challenge ourselves, continuing to work with others. Is a number of things that team is tapping our curiosity. So continue to learn. So loving these words that are coming up today.
Excellent. So I'll ask all of the interns to please complete the last question on your Menti, which asks for your feedback on our opportunity to hear from our leader here today. And as we close out, we just want to say a big thank you to you, Obed, for joining and sharing your leadership insights. I was inspired, and I really hope all of our interns were as well. And a thank you to all of our interns who I know are in a myriad of situations between in class and working and on your journey to excellence. So thank you all for your time today.
That's right. Thanks, Adonica. Thank everybody. And then Josh, to Josh's question around resources, you can find those through Aptiv Academy. So we have tons of learning activities in Aptiv Academy that continue to push us to learn and grow. Everyone have enjoy the rest of the semester and keep pushing yourself, keep growing, keep learning. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.